From KUNC and the NPR network, this is In The NoCo. I'm Brad Turner, in today for Aaron O'Toole. A position on the ski patrol at a Colorado resort is a dream job for many. They get paid to spend their days on some of the best snow-covered terrain in the country, and they help thousands of skiers and snowboarders have a great time in the high country. But that work can also take a toll. Aside from the physical demands of skiing as a full-time job, there are downright traumatic moments, like when a patrol team responds to a skier who's badly injured or gone missing. Winter Park's Ski Patrol set out in recent years to make sure its patrol members are properly equipped to handle the toughest moments. Working with a nonprofit called Responders Alliance, they got their patrol team talking about stress and resilience. The story was featured in a recent Colorado Sun article. Zachary Akselrad is in his 16th season as a Ski Patrol employee, and he's assistant director of the Winter Park Ski Patrol. He talked with me about why the culture of the Ski Patrol needed to change and how it's made the work better. Zach, you have a 90-person Ski Patrol team at a resort that hosts more than 1 million visitors in a given year. A lot of Ski Patrol employees, especially younger members, must think they're signing up for a mostly fun job. Talk about what it's like for them to encounter some of these incidents for the first time.
I certainly think there's some shock. Ski Patrol is such a great job, and
Hmm.
the people who join our team are love to ski powder. They have friends on the crew. There's a great sense of community, and they may not realize that, unfortunately, we do see terrible trauma, fatalities that happened, bad collisions, just some of the worst things you can imagine when 1 million folks are on a mountain.
Hmm.
So shock at first, but it becomes a part of the job. I think people begin to accept and even have a great sense of pride in the problem solving and the meaningful work of patient care that we do.
So you offer trainings about mental health and wellness, and you encourage your staff to pause and reflect on how they're doing each morning. One way you do this is by assigning colors to their feelings or their state of mind. For example, you have each member of the Ski Patrol think about whether they're feeling green, which means okay and enthusiastic about work, or maybe they're feeling red or orange, where they're feeling less okay. Why is the color system a helpful way to reflect at the start of a workday?
So the Responder Alliance gave us this terrific tool, the individual stress continuum, where we measure our level of readiness and our feelings at the beginning of the day. Green, ready; yellow, reacting; orange, injured; and red, critical.
Hmm.
And I think for us, it's important that our patrol is engaged and able to react to the dynamic environment we're in and be vitalized. So if a patroller is not feeling green or ready for the day, it allows them to think about how they'll communicate to their leaders and what missions they may or may not go on. For our team in general and our leadership, it's great to see where the majority of colors end up. So if we see that our team is red or orange, maybe we need to give different direction on a given day, ask different tasks of our team, or communicate differently.
Yeah.
So, for example, just if we were to look at sleeping, green would be healthy sleep, yellow, sleep loss; orange, sleep issues; and red, insomnia. When you're doing that self-assessment and you have some of the signs or symptoms of orange or red especially, it's a signal for you to use a variety of tools that we have, such as seeking a counselor's help, or making green or healthier choices, joining one of our Pilates classes.
Hmm.
And so that self-awareness is really important.
So if someone's in a red mood, you might point them to a counselor or something to relieve stress. And then you mentioned making green choices and recommending that to the staff. What does a green choice look like, and why does that help?
Well, our job is very difficult, and we may encounter trauma on a given day, be asked to evac a lift, throw explosives, and very importantly, just be ready and skilled and engaged to support each other, most importantly, and support our guests. So If you are green going in, you'll be green coming out. If you are exhausted or suffering in any way and you don't perform your best in a very high pressure situation, there may be a sense of shame or guilt on the other side. Especially in a job as a first responder, it's important that you've given yourself the best and your team the best chance to succeed any day. And so, green choices for me would be like meditation or listening to calming music,
Hmm.
spending time with friends and family, sleeping well, minimizing alcohol use.
Hmm. And Zach, just for people who don't work as ski patrollers, evacing a lift is clearing guests off of a ski lift that's broken down. And you mentioned working with explosives. Why would you do that in a given day?
Yeah, so evacing a lift would just be if a lift were to break down, that would
Uh-huh.
be our team doing a rope rescue to
Uh-huh.
get you safely off the lift. And explosive work would be if we just had to mitigate any sort of avalanche hazard that was going on in the
Mhm.
basket cirque of our mountain or in the chutes. We would need to be mitigating that hazard with explosives.
Wow. Wow. So many different things the ski patrol does in a given day. How much do you think the public sees the benefit of this new push to promote better self-care among the ski patrol?
Certainly, when we lift evac the gondola last year, which was extraordinarily successful,
Hmm.
I hope the public sees a very skilled patrol that has obviously put in a lot of work and training, and had great collaborative success to get everyone off the mountain safely. We also, I think, try to be very approachable and communicative and positive and optimistic with the public. And I
Hmm.
think, yeah, I think those two areas.
I wonder if there's a moment you can think of recently when you said, this wouldn't have happened in the time before we did more to prioritize self-care and wellness among the team.
I certainly see this year we're having a very difficult snow year. It is a job that, in many ways, is dictated by the weather. A lack of snow year is essentially like an existential threat to our livelihood
Mhm.
and also just hinders our ability to have that great joy of skiing, something we look forward to all year in our lives. There are a lot of pressures when we're not getting snow, a lot of mental stresses we put on ourselves, the stress continuum model, and continued feedback giving and taking and communication is so important, especially in a year like this year where we're faced with many challenges because of the weather.
That was Zachary Akselrad, an assistant director on Winter Park Ski Patrol, talking about why the resort is prioritizing mental health and wellness for its ski patrol team. If you'd like to read more about it, we'll put a link to a recent Colorado Sun story on the subject in our show notes and at kunc.org. That's it today for In The NoCo. I'm Brad Turner. Thanks for listening.